Okay, welcome to Psych 100, General Psychology Online, Fall 2017. I'm just going to give you a walkthrough of what to expect in the course and how to go about finding things in the course. So here's a home screen, Blackboard home screen that you're going to see. You're going to read the welcome note, obviously. And I want to go through where you're going to find all the information that you need. So if you go to course information, you're going to see a bunch of stuff here. We're going to start with the syllabus, and so I've actually brought up the syllabus. So here's the syllabus. Don't worry about the section, it applies to all sections. So with general psychology, the course is 3 credits. I'm the instructor. It's best to meet me or to communicate with me through my email address. This will be taking place fully online, as you know when you signed up. Here's my office phone. You can leave a message. I'm in and out of the office. It's best to communicate through email. If you need to see me, my office is S633D. Enter through Ethnic Studies, which is S623. So if you need to meet with me personally, I'm generally on campus Monday and Wednesday, afternoons into evenings. Mailbox is N651. That's the Department of Social Sciences. So if you need to submit something through to my mailbox, which you probably won't because everything's going to be uploaded, you can leave it in my mailbox there. My office hours are Monday 2 to 4 and 7 to 8 p.m. and by appointment. And I could also schedule meetings through Blackboard Collaborate or probably Google Hangouts or whatnot if you need that as well. So the course description, it's a survey course covering both past and present developments and research findings in the field of psychology. Psychology is a multifaceted discipline that seeks to explain how human behavior is shaped by mental processes. And it has its roots basically in biology and philosophy and started in the late 19th century with Wilhelm Wundt in Germany, setting up the first psychology laboratory. And I will cover some of the basics here, an introduction to the course, critical thinking, experimental or research methods. I do a couple chapters on neuroscience, a couple modules on neuroscience, and then I'll talk about learning, development. There's a module on drug use, substance abuse. I don't know how much I'm going into emotions, but I will talk about empathy and autism and social psych at the end and a little bit of personality. This course is fully online in the Blackboard learning environment, and every week you need to access the course guide. So the course guide is, if you take a look here, under course information, which is on the left here, you see syllabus, you see course guide. You click on course guide. Let's see if I don't have the course guide open, but if you click on course guide, it brings you up this very beautifully designed course guide. And so you want to use the course guide every week to know where you're starting off. So week 1, introduction, history of psychology. Here are the dates. Here are the due dates. So I want you to read Myers, the textbook, module 1, or the ebook, whatever you decide to buy, pages 1 through 18. And I want you to go through lecture slides for module 1. This is actually a video lecture. So what I did was I basically took a bunch of slides and I recorded a YouTube video lecture for everything. So you'll just click into YouTube, as I'll show you, and you'll get to module 1 lecture. And you can go back and replay it. You can play it on your phone, your tablet, whatever. It's very convenient. As long as you have YouTube, you can play and listen to the lectures. Now the assignments, obviously, you want Blackboard access, which you should have if you're on a Blackboard course, an online course. If you have problems with Blackboard, you're going to go to S510 of the main building. The main building is 199 Chambers Street. If you can't physically get to the main building, you can call them. But it's probably easier to go in person to get things done. But you try calling if you can't physically make it there. You also want to register for Launchpad. So when we go through the syllabus, you'll see that you have to either purchase the book and the Launchpad software access card, or you can just purchase the Launchpad access with the ebook separately. And that's cheaper than buying the book and the Launchpad. However, if you're going into psychology, you probably want to use the book as a resource. I did actually in my career. I kept my books and I used them as resources. So if you have If you have the money and you want to make an investment, I suggest getting the loose leaf book with the Launchpad access, and you can get that bundled for cheaper. If you want the hardcover book, it's going to cost a lot more. Hardcover is just very expensive. But the loose leaf version is pretty good, and you get the Launchpad access, and you can get it for like $120 something, which is reasonable considering the publishing companies these days. You have to use the software because we're doing an online course. There's no way I can really evaluate if you're getting the material week to week or have you practice the material. It's really in your hands to keep up to date with the material. And so the software package will force you to be up to date with the material because you'll have to do assignments every week. And you're going to be learning at a much greater rate by participating in the activities in the Launchpad environment. You'll also be using a discussion board every week, and the first week's going to be icebreaker. So I'm going to basically ask you to introduce yourself, and we'll introduce ourselves and get familiar with each other and make contacts with each other, because there's plenty of times where you'll want to study or talk to your classmates if possible, either by phone or Skype or whatever, FaceTime or through email. And it's good to have people in the class that you can rely on in case something goes wrong. You need to ask them about something. You need to ask them a question and learn from each other. And you could do that in the discussion board, but you can also do that offline and do it in the real world, which is where a lot of learning takes place as well. So it's important to introduce each other and try to form contacts early on in the course. Obviously, you have my email, you have my office number. You can get to me if you need me. I generally respond within 24 hours. The weekends might be a little bit slower, but I pretty much check my email every day. At least I try to check my email every day. And all the assignments for week 1 will be due 9/3 at noon, which is Sunday. So it's due Sunday at noon. You're going to submit all this stuff, right? Your initial post about yourself. You're going to do Launchpad Module 1, and you're going to read the text. And then I will then grade within the next couple of days after I get your post. And in this case, it's just a post. You don't need to reply on the discussion board. I will then grade them on Sunday or Monday, and you'll see more feedback. You'll get feedback in your Blackboard under the grade book. You'll see your grades. And the rubrics are actually posted too. So if you go to course information, if you go under rubric, you'll see a rubric for the discussion board. And you can click on that and see that I rate the initial posting and I rate the reply. And the initial posting should be between 150 and 350 words, the initial posting. And the reply should be more than, 100, 150 words. I don't want like a one-sentence reply like, oh, I agree with you. That's not a satisfactory reply. You need to integrate the information and give meaningful feedback, not just acquiesce to whatever someone else says. So if you read through this rubric, you'll have a better idea of what I'm looking for in the discussion board. Okay. So once again, in your Blackboard, you want to start with course information, course guide, and we're going to go back to the syllabus, which I have open in this link here. So that's the online part. You're going to file the syllabus, check the weekly guide every week, and you need to set up the Launchpad environment. So we're going to get to that in a second. Your learning outcomes, you could read through this. These are the same learning outcomes that I generally use all the time. General education learning outcomes, all the stuff that you want to read through. Just go through that as well. Required reading, it's David Myers and Nathan DeWall's Psychology in Modules 11th edition. Now, it has to be psychology in modules. It can't just be psychology. It can't be exploring psychology. It has to be psychology in modules. I used this book for many years. I'm recommending the loose leaf with the Launchpad access, and you can get this in the bookstore. I've placed an order for the loose leaf. Probably a little more in the bookstore because it's Barnes & Noble's. You can also buy it online. Amazon sells it for, I think, $123 if you want to buy the combo. And that comes with the access card for Launchpad, and then you're going to use the access card to get the Launchpad access as well. Now, if you're not going into psychology and you don't need the book for a long period of time, you can just buy the Launchpad Access online, and that comes with the ebook, and that lasts for 6 months, so it's one term. And after that, it goes away. You don't have access to it anymore. So if you're just taking this course as a prerequisite and you don't think you're going to go into psychology, you just need to get through it, then buy the Launchpad Access only, and it's cheaper. I think it's about $85 to $90, and you get the ebook with that. So there's two ways to go. Course theme: the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. This is William James, the founder of American Psychology. As far as technology, you're using Blackboard. We're going to use YouTube for the lectures and the Launchpad integrative software that allows you to study and learn the material in more depth. You're required to have this. You have to have this. And there's a significant portion of your grade tied into your Launchpad assignment. So if you don't purchase Launchpad, then you're not going to get the 20% of your grade from Launchpad, and you're probably going to fail. I mean, in almost every situation, you'll fail. So you have to make a little bit of investment to get through the course. I will also give 3 exams in the Blackboard learning environment. So you'll have exams in Blackboard, you'll have Launchpad homework assignments, and you'll have 2 papers, or 2 projects / papers for the course. Now you want to really focus on this area here. This is getting started with Launchpad. You're going to click on this link. And so make sure you click on this link when you open your syllabus, and that'll take you to the Launchpad site. So this is for section 506. Section 507 will have a different link, but this is section 506's link, so I'll click on that. And then I'll take you to psychology and modules. You see the course, you'll see the section. Make sure that you're in the right course, obviously. This is my name. And make sure you're in the right section, 0506. If you're in 0507, you should see 0507 here. All right, so new student registration, you're going to click here. If you want to purchase the Launchpad with the ebook, and you're not buying the loose leaf book with the access card, you can just start here. Register, purchase access. Click on this. If you have the loose leaf book with the access card, you're going to put the access code in this box where it says access code and hit submit. So once again, if you have the loose leaf book with the access card, you're going to type in the number here, hit submit. If you don't want to buy the loose leaf and you just want to buy the Launchpad with the ebook, you're going to click on I want to purchase access. If you don't have the money or you're waiting for financial aid, etc., you're going to click on I need to pay later, and you'll get a couple weeks of free access to the Launchpad environment. But then it'll expire and you'll have to pay. So you're still going to have to pay at some point. So the faster you can pay, the easier it'll be on you, I think. Once you have access, you can click on returning users, you enter your email and you enter your password, you sign in, and you'll get to the course. So let me go back to the syllabus. Here's the syllabus. If I scroll down here, so once again, you're going to enter the access code if you have it. If you just want the ebook, you click I want to purchase access. If you want temporary access, you must register your code using the same email address as your paid access. So if you're going to use temporary access, you must use the same email address as when you use permanent paid access. Otherwise, the whole system will blow up. So you don't want that. If you have any problems with anything regarding Launchpad, that's purchasing the software, registering it, etc., using some of the assignments that I give you, you must contact customer support. I am not personally IT. I am not customer support. I can't fix your problems for you. I can fix the problems for the course. I can fix the problems with you understanding a concept, but I can't fix the Launchpad problems. So either contact customer support by clicking on this link, and there's a frequently asked questions, and there's ways to contact them, or call them up or use the online form. If you call them up on the phone, they're available from 7 a.m. to 3 a.m. So if you're going to do this, please do it between the hours of 7 a.m. and 3 a.m. You need to sleep anyway, so those other hours you can sleep. The online chat is actually available 24 hours. So if perchance you're up and you have insomnia and you can't sleep, and you just feel like doing the work at like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, you can do the online chat if you have a problem, tech support. But the phones are available from 7 a.m. to 3 a.m. So let's go back into Launchpad. Let me log in and show you a little bit about how this works. So I'm logging in as the instructor. So let's do preview as students so you can see. This is what you're going to see when you log in to Launchpad. So you're going to start out, you're going to see the dates. These are the due dates, September 3rd through to September 3rd. So click on part 1 because that's where we're starting. And if you click on part 1, you'll see the due date. You'll see 0% complete. Right? And you're going to see a bunch of other things here to do. So you're going to click on to do. Right? This is section 506, by the way, I've logged into. If you're in section 507, you should see Psych 100 section 0507 at the top. Make sure you're in the right section. If you click on a to-do, this says making things memorable. It's a video assignment. When you click on to-do, it brings up the video, and you watch the video. And once you do watch the video, this blue bar here will change to green and show you that you did it, and it will also show your score. So it's 5 points. If you watch the video, you'll get 5 points out of 5 points. And then there's some of these where you actually have to respond, where there's like a quiz where you watch something and you answer the quiz and you get awarded somewhere between 0 and 5 points. Here's the ebook. So if you want to read the ebook, you click on this and it'll bring up the ebook. So you can read the ebook directly from Launchpad. You get it for free with Launchpad. And here is Module 1. So if you click on Module 1, what assignments I have to do for there. If I click on anything here, this is bringing up the ebook. These are the different sections in the ebook that you can read. Here's the review you can read. And these are other things you have to do here. Video activity, history of psychology, learning curve, module 1. So learning curve is basically an interactive environment where they ask you a series of different questions in a different format and you have to score. It's like a game. You have to get to a particular threshold to get through it. And so it just tests your knowledge of what you read. And if you struggle with one area, it will go back and it will review that area with you and then ask you more questions. So it's an interactive learning module where you can get points and you have to reach a certain threshold, and it kind of identifies your weakness and goes back and tries to fix that weakness. And then you have Module 1 quiz, which is weighted a little more because it's an actual quiz item. So you have a bunch of questions here to answer based on Module 1. And then Part 1 test yourself, which is another little mini quiz. And so these are the various point totals you have, and I will get these various point totals into the Launchpad gradebook. They will not go into Blackboard directly. At the end of the semester, I will put your total score in Launchpad, and I will put that grade into Blackboard when I calculate your final grades. But right now, you would need to go to Gradebook here to see your grades on each section in Launchpad. Blackboard and Launchpad don't communicate with each other right now. Maybe in the future, but right now BMCC does not have it set up properly. So you have to access your grades in Launchpad in the gradebook. So you see all of this is due September 3rd. So you're basically going to read the book and then work on all these exercises. That'll be your homework. And then when you're done with that, and it's further on, you got to go into part 2. Click on that. You see Module 2, Module 3, Module 4. And the due dates for Module 2 and Module 3 are September 10th. So you want to click on these and go through the exercises. And the same thing with Module 4. It's due the 17th. So you're going to see due dates all throughout the semester, and you've got to do the assignment before the due date is up. If you can't, for some particular reason, something horrible happened, you're out of the country, there's an emergency, you're very, very ill, and you can't get through the work, then you need to let me know. And it has to be a legitimate reason that I can give you an extension. I will not just give you an extension because you were out partying or, you just, you wanted to sleep longer and you didn't finish it on time. That's not a legitimate excuse. You need to have a real reason for being behind. And the reason for that is because you need to keep up to date on the material. And if you're not up to date on the material, you're going to struggle. So this is one way of forcing you. In my regular classes, I give quizzes every week. Students don't like quizzes every week, but it keeps them up to date on the material. But they generally don't like it. Okay, this I think is a lot more fun and a lot easier than giving quizzes every week, and it allows you to keep up to date on the material. And since I don't see you in class, this will tell me whether you're doing the work. And I think this is going to be a good experience for you. So that's the Launchpad learning environment that you're going to be using. If you just want the ebook, you can also click on here and you'll get the ebook. And you can click on the chapter and just read it. So you don't have to read the ebook in Launchpad. In the midst of doing the modules themselves, you can click on ebook and read the ebook here. And you can view this on a tablet. You could view it on your iPhone, but it's going to be really hard to read on your iPhone unless you have one of those giant iPhones. But a tablet is probably a convenient way to do this. So if you have an iPad or Kindle or Amazon Fire Pad, these are all good viable ways to read through the material. Or you can buy the loose leaf, or you can buy the hardcover if you have the money and you want a hardcover book. You buy the hardcover. The hardcover is very expensive though. So let's go back to the syllabus. So you'll be using everything in Blackboard in terms of evaluation. You should check the course guide every week. Every week you should check the course guide, see what you're doing. And then you want to go into the weekly guide. So once you check the course guide, let's go back into Blackboard. So here's the course guide. So week 1, I want to do all this stuff. But once I read through week 1 here in the course guide, what you want to do, let me get rid of that, is go into weekly guide. Click on weekly guide. Click on week 1. Here are your learning objectives for week 1. These are things you should be able to accomplish in week 1. Click on this. Now you're not going to see all of these weeks at once. You're going to see one week at a time. I have it set up so that you only see the week you're currently in. But let's just go through week 1. Here's the video lecture. So if you click on, you're going to check out Launchpad. You're going to register for Launchpad. This is just the features of Launchpad. The link for registration is in the syllabus. You can click on that. This is just additional information to register. Here's the actual Launchpad assignment you have to do. So if you just click on this link, it will take you directly to Launchpad. I have to change this. You should not get Master Course, but you'll get 506 or 507. So I will make the adjustments for that. But it'll take you to your Launchpad section. And then finally, the discussion board that's due. Here's the assignment. If you want to go directly to the discussion board, just click on this link. And that will take you to the discussion board. And now you have to create a thread. Here's your assignment. Right? You have to create an initial thread first. Everyone has to do a thread. Initial post, I call it. You can label it. You can put your name here. If you want, you can put something else, introductions, you can put your name. You don't have to put your name because your name will appear. So whatever the subject is, so this case would be introductions. You can put introductions, dash your name, it doesn't matter. And then you type your introduction and make sure you meet the requirement of 150 to 350 words. So I'm sure you have some interesting things you could say about yourself. Keep it family content, family rated. I don't need to know anything about your past that you need to disclose here. Keep it PG, please. Introduce yourself. I mean, if you wanted to attach a picture, you could attach a picture from your computer. It's up to you. You don't have to attach a picture. But you want to tell me something about yourself that's interesting. What career path you're interested in, why you're taking the course, but keep it, like I said, PG rated. Now for the first assignment, you just need to post. You don't need to respond to others, but if you want to respond to others' posts, then you can go in, after you create your own post, you're allowed to respond to other posts and respond to other posts. Now, in the future, you will have to make a response to other people's posts, at least one response. So you're going to have to reply to another post in the future. But for now, you can just, for the first week, you can just type in your introductory message. Now let's see if there's anything else on the weekly guide for week 1. You've done this, you've watched the lecture, you've gone through Launchpad and registered it. You went to Launchpad and completed Module 1 in Launchpad that was due. And there's a couple other exercises before Module 1. You'll see the due date as I showed you before. You did the discussion board. Now you're done for week 1. So you're done for week 1 and you can, go about doing other things. If you want to read ahead, you could read ahead. You can't do the work ahead, but you can actually read ahead. I don't want you doing the work ahead like week to week because it's gonna get confusing if you keep working on things in advance. I want you to just focus 1 week at a time, and if you go through the course 1 week at a time, you'll be fine. Pace yourself. Don't fall behind. No need to rush ahead. Try to pace yourself throughout the entire week, 1 week at a time. Other things here, written assignments, you'll see this correlation project. I'm going to be talking more about the correlation project in the future, but you're going to have to analyze some data in Excel, and I will probably make another video for that to show you how to do it. It's not hard at all. You're going to read through the instructions, and this is going to be a couple weeks ahead, but you're going to eventually get to your written assignments. This is one. The other written assignment is the behavioral modification project that I'll post also. But there's no need to jump ahead. Wait till you're required to do it, and then start on it. And I will post instructional videos as well. Here's your discussion board. If you wanted to get the discussion board this way, you can click on the discussion board on this tab. Launchpad brings you to Launchpad tab for week 1, week 2, week 3, etc. You only just see 1 week at a time. Your grades will be in here. If you want to check your grades. Tools. If you need them, you'll have some tools. Now, my Blackboard content looks a little bit different than yours. Let me go to student Blackboard content here. And this is me, a little bit about me. You can read through my email, etc., my office hours, and you can contact me. So that's how Blackboard works. And anything that's really important will show up in announcements going forward. So let's go back to the syllabus. Attendance, you're required to complete the weekly assignments and participate in the discussion board. If you do not post in week 1, you will be marked as never attending and removed from the course. So make sure you post starting week 1, or you get actually removed from the course because you're not present. Just one quick thing on exams. All exams given online must be completed during the week assigned. Makeup exams, just like assignments, extensions on assignments, will only be given for documented emergencies. Something seriously has to be wrong with you for you not to do the work. And if there's a medical issue, you need to scan and email me the doctor or hospital note so I can see that and I can use that to verify giving you an extension. Just because the course is online doesn't mean that you can do it whenever you want. You have to do it week to week. And if you can't do it week to week because of work or some other requirements in your life, family, etc., if you know right now you can't do it week to week, you could do it some weeks and not other weeks, then don't take the course. Then drop the course. You need to be able to do the course every week of the course for all 15 to 16 weeks of the course. Grading. These are your exams. 3 exams online, 15% each. Launchpad assignments, so 20% for the online homework. The 2 written assignments at 10% each. And the total grade on your discussion board for the semester is 15% of your grade. So the exams are worth some points, but they're not, a ridiculous amount. So more than 50% of your grade is not your exams. So I expect quality written assignments and for you to do the Launchpad and some good discussion board posts. Plagiarism is not accepted. You automatically fail. Obviously cheating as well. So if I read 2 identical papers or 3 identical papers, I know that they're not your own paper, so you're going to fail on that. Don't be lazy, basically. That's my rule. Class schedule, these are the weekly, this is the tentative class schedule. If there's any changes, I'll let you know, but I don't foresee there to be any changes. Week 4 will be an exam on modules 1 through 7. I'll assign the research paper on week 3. That research paper is due on week 7. And these are the topics in your text. The behavioral modification project assigned week 9, and that's due during finals week, along with the 3rd exam. Second exam is week 10. And these are the modules for the exam. You must be registered for classes through the registrar's office and cleared with financial payments through the bursar's office. If you are not registered or cleared financially, you will be dropped by the class. Not by me, but BMCC will just drop your whole schedule. So you must make sure that you are in this class, registered, and that you're paying your bills, because BMCC does not give you notice. If they don't get payment for you, whether it be financial aid or your own personal payment, they will just drop your schedule. And it's not just BMCC. Every college does this. And I've had a lot of students come crying to me saying, I need to get in your class, I got dropped, and I tell them I can't do anything about it. And so don't be in that situation. Stay up to date on your payment and make sure you're registered, and you should be fine. And once again, if there's any questions, you can always email me or call me, or we can set up a meeting, etc. See, is there anything else that I want to go through? I think that's about it for now. So glad you're taking the course. Hopefully you enjoy the course. And if you need anything, let me know. If not, start with the course guide, and then go to the weekly guide starting at week 1. And let's have fun throughout the entire semester and really sit down and work hard. If you work hard and you learn and you address any questions you have, you should be fine in the course. So hope to see you soon. I'll see you in the online environment, and enjoy your labor.